welcome back to another video. My name is Kat, known as phamerina.planning here on YouTube and on Instagram. And today's video actually is kind of a bujo with me, but it's kind of more along the lines of like set up my bullet journal monthly spreads with me. I think I'm revamping the Bujos with me. I have no idea. I just sat down to set up my February spreads, and I figured, I might as well take you along for the ride because I knew I wanted to do 2 Dutch doors and just some fun stuff. I figured I could just do it on camera. That's literally what happened. I don't set up all of my spreads. I set up the more pretty spreads, and to be honest, I was kind of starting to get burned out by the end, so you're not going to see everything. Um, but if you're curious as to how everything turned out, hopefully I will have posted pictures on Instagram by the time this goes up. But if not, they should show up shortly. But I'm setting up my February bullet journal spreads using this Coquette collection. Coquette collection from Paper Trail Plans. I grabbed the decorative bundle and the floral bundle. It's on the washi paper, which I have. It's like Lisa and Plannerland said the same thing. It's like a love-hate relationship with it. Like it goes down on the paper so pretty. But if you have to move it, good luck with that. Um, because there were a few times during the setup I'm like, oh, I need to move this, like not put it here, and it was a struggle. So for my cover page, I knew I wanted to do. So let me back up. I usually do a Dutch door with my calendar page because it hides the more like private information. The calendar sits on top of it, but you can still see like what's left for decoration behind the Dutch door, or not behind it, but like around the Dutch door. But for this one, I don't know. I was feeling fun and different. I had this like script washi tape from the washi tape shop that I figured would pair really well with this, and why not make a fun um cover page Dutch door? Cause why not? I was feeling inspired, and we follow those rabbit holes when we're feeling inspired. Um, this floral like foiled washi is also from Sadie's. Well, it's not also. It's from Sadie Stickers. I feel like it got it in a grab bag, and I'm really sorry for my head poking in. I should have pulled in my phone like a little bit tighter. But yeah, that's my face and my messy bun hair. But it doesn't. Hopefully, it doesn't bother you. Hopefully, you're focusing on the fact that I'm creating this Dutch door here. Um, I have this I think it's called a swivel blade paper cutter, something or another. Um, it makes creating these Dutch stores so much like easier, like game changer in all honesty. And I like to put the major elements down of the Dutch door. And one of the things I like to do is to create kind of like hidden moments. Um, it's not like anything major, and they're usually not functional in any sense of the word. But I like it when you open the page and you're like, oh, this was hiding under here. That's pretty cool. So that's what I was doing with this like foiled script thingy and the floral. It's not like a huge moment, but it is a moment that gets revealed underneath. Um, so I like that. And then um, I got over my fear. Not, I wouldn't call it a fear. My apprehension, I guess, or uh, I would guess it's fear. Fear, apprehension, one of those two words of using these letter charms. I have been eyeing them for so long, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go ahead, buy these and use them somehow. I talk about it in like a few plan with me's where I'm not like I hesitate to buy alphabet stickers because I know I use e's like honestly, you know what would be nice is like a whole page of vowels, t's, n's. There's what is that show? Wheel of Fortune. Like I'm sure they have to have like the points are based on like how rare a letter is. Scrabble is another one. Like let's make a sheet with letters based on that. Sorry, this whole that's a whole different diatribe. So um I got over my hesitation on using the letter charms, and just like I just went for it to make my February FEB, not February but FEB Feb, the abbreviated. And This is what happens when you forget that the other side is a Dutch door and you don't actively flip the pages back and forth, because I like how this is oriented right now. Once I put like the B down, I think it looks pretty good. Not perfect, but I think it looks good. And then I went to go close my cover page and I realized, oh no, my E is behind the cover page. And kind of the whole point of this Dutch door when I made it was to be able to see the month, whether the Dutch door was open or not. So to have the E cover up kind of defeated the purpose of doing it. So I had to quickly reorganize these stickers. So I think it looks a little less cohesive this way, but we make things work. So again, when you have a Dutch door, don't forget to look at how the door looks when it's closed. Because that's important. I think the thing I was kind of stuck on was making it look like these charms were attached to something. Um like the ends weren't just free floating on their own. So that's where I kind of got stuck with having to move things, because you built it the one way with things in place, and then you have to shift gears. So for the rest of my cover page, I pulled in the large floral in the corner just to have opposite sides. And I knew I wanted to. I've been working on leaving negative space. So since the fashion girl is such a huge focal point, I didn't want to create too much clutter around her by putting a bunch of things in that negative space that was created. So I tried really, 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 really hard to kind of just decorate that upper left hand corner and leave it at that, which I think is good for letting the space breathe. So, as you saw, I tried my little transition. It didn't work at 100% to fill in the calendar, and then I do use my bullet journal calendar mostly functionally. I usually just fill it out at the beginning of the month, and that's kind of it. Excuse me. Um, because it's more like a um what's the word I want to use? It's more like it sets the path rather than being a documentation of the journey. It frames my mindset for the month. It keeps in focus what is important and what, like, where crunch times are going to be. So I have the calendar here so I can refer to dates and like see when major events are happening, but that's realistically all I kind of do. Sometimes if things pop up, like I'll come back and fill them in the calendar, but more often than not, it doesn't usually happen. Um and that spread kept it pretty simple. The spread immediately following it is my kind of this month. So I have a couple of tasks that I try to do every single month. Litter box changes, dealing with my parking for work, um, keeping track of when sheets get changed and all of that. So I leave a lot of room, because this is also where I'll go to kind of make reminders for next month. Um, if something pops up and it's for March, like a task rather than a date or an appointment, that's where that usually goes. Um, and what else? I feel like those are kind of the major things. Like bills go on the calendar because I have a bill schedule in my not monthly, my yearly setup. So I usually go back to that and reference that for when I do bills. Um, Hello, big head. There's my big ol' head. So what's next is usually my kind of social media dashboard, I guess is what you could call it. I have a calendar that has the 5 weekdays of the week and the weekend in one, because I don't typically post videos on the weekend. Um, but I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll post on the weekend. I don't usually do um like Instagram posts. I mean, I post in the stories, but I don't make a note of when I post in the stories. Um, so it's just to make sure that I'm posting consistently. It also is a place, even though I do have Notion to lay out video schedules and all of that, but I put it here just so that I see it all the time when I flip through my journal. Um, because I do actually reference this page a lot. It also ensures that I post consistently on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Although I'm lagging in TikTok, but apparently we just banned it TikTok, so I don't know. TikTok is like a fickle monster. Like if the algorithm picks you up, great, but if it doesn't, then like it don't matter. It's not like Instagram. I'm confused on TikTok anyway. I'm not really sure. Sometimes people like it, sometimes people do. What I usually post on TikTok is the my plan with me's or any of my setups in like 30 seconds. I speed it up to 30 seconds and post it there, because I don't know. I find it extremely satisfying to watch the stickers go down in just a short amount of time. But that is neither here nor there. So I don't know what the future of my TikTok is, but I keep an eye on it. I haven't actually gone on there in a little while. Um, Make sure you count your numbers, because I have a whole extra row for no reason. And I told myself, figure it out later, and I still have yet to figure it out, but it's okay. Documentation of what happened. So I also have on the right hand side the social media brain dump, where I make note of PR post, happy mail that I wanted to, make sure I put in my haul and all that. So it's just, anything and everything for the social media that I need to remember usually goes there. I skipped over like two of my functional spreads. It's like the one line a days, which actually I'm not doing anymore in my bullet journal. So I'll figure out what to do with those pages, and my meal trackers for myself and my son. So very functional. Usually very little goes on those. So there's not much to see for that one. The spread I'm working on right now is the finances tracker Dutch door. Most of us don't like having our finances out in the world, so I usually create an elaborate like front of the Dutch door, just because I can. And then usually underneath there's not much going on. So with the washi paper, I love how it looks going down on the paper. I do not love layering it. So if you remember from my calendar, I layered a floral on top of the books. And you could see, the colors of the book popping up underneath. So with that one, I could live with. But here, I could see the color of the florals through her face. And I was like, no, we're not going to live with that. Luckily, the washi paper is easy to cut through. So it took me like a hot minute, but then I remembered, why don't I just leave her face like her, leave her down, cut around her, and then pull it up. Genius, smart. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that. And I do I do realize at this point in time that this house mansion sticker is crooked, but when I started to try to pull it up, it was starting to rip. And I gave myself some time to debate whether I was going to be um okay with it being crooked, or if I was going to try to pull it up. And at this point in time, I was kind of leaning towards it's probably fine. No one's going to notice it. Only you are. So let's just leave it down, because it's a lot of work to try to pull it back up without ripping it. And how do I know it's a lot of work to try to pull it up without ripping it? It's because I couldn't live with it. I think at this point, yeah, okay. So I was um, still debating it, and like I think if I couldn't see the door, If I couldn't see the door and tell it was clearly crooked, I probably would have been okay to live with it. So for the rest of the finances, um, Dutch door cover page, if you want to call it that, I wanted to use more of the deco. I just wanted to fill this space up. So I just pulled in a bunch of the deco, pulled in the foil. So I did have the not romanticize. It's actually no, I probably did use some of the romanticized foil. But I also used the deer heart um foiled sampler from Starlight Paper Studio. Just because it also had like soft romantic things. Plus, it had the scripts, and I love scripts. And I really liked the motif of the leaf that was going on, which I pulled to line my florals for my touch doors. So I decided to pull that in, and now I'm just sprinkling the deco everywhere as I sit and debate whether it's okay to leave the mansion as crooked as it is. And yeah, I did ultimately go back in and pull it up. You can tell how curled it is. That's one of the things with the washi paper. It gets really curled when you pull it back up, but so much better. Like it's not as annoying. And then I'm writing in my spread title here, which is just finances. And then I think I pulled in one or two elements again with a Dutch door. I try to think about making like little peekaboo moments, little hidden moments that, show up when you turn the page. So there wasn't a lot of room, but we hid the bow under there, and when you flip the page, you're going to see the bow. So that is that little guy, and I'm just adding a little bit more um, deco to this front half until I'm satisfied with how much is on there. And I was just debating whether I could add any more here, but we don't want to do too much. So this spread is the last spread I'm going to set up here. It is my memories spread where I document any kind of major memories from the year from the month. I have a Canon IV, which I will print pictures and stick them in here too. Um, just so I can flip through these bullet journals years down the road, and see this month in a glance, right? A snapshot of the month. That was what I was trying to say. Um, and happy moments, sad moments. Well, probably not sad. It's mostly happy. Um, because in February of 2022 is when I found out I was pregnant with Bub. It's also our dating anniversary. Um, it's not like we do anything major. We just look at the calendar. We're like, hey, it's been however many years. In February, it will be 20, not 20. It will be 16 years since we've started dating. So we look at the calendar, and I'm like, hey, it's been this many years, and he's like, yeah, it's been this many years after you made me wait a whole month. And then decided you wanted to date, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, babe. Look where we are now. So that's what the purpose of this spread is. Sorry, I got a whole diatribe there. I pulled in the film strip from the collection, and has like this really neat distress look on like the film strip part. I pulled in a stamp, and the stamp was actually cut out in the middle, which I was like, wait, were the other ones cut out? It was just this one from Starlight Paper Studio. But I really love stickers that have like the cutouts in the middle, because it allows you to do really fun like layering, weaving moments. I didn't do too many here because I didn't want to layer too much here, so I just pulled in one of the florals and kind of weaved it in and out. I pulled in a foiled script. I knew I used romanticize somewhere. It's romanticize your life is what that said, and then I just created another little moment up in the top left corner, again leaving the negative space, leaving the room to to populate this with memories down the line. So I'm trying not to go overboard. And then I'm just pulling in a little bit of the florals just to um, decorate this title area. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I don't know if I do it on camera, but I do realize that the girl on the cover page is ever so slightly crooked. So I do add a little foil accent just to um, create a little bit of a distraction so it's not as noticeable. If you stare at it long enough, you'll see that she's just ever so slightly cocked. But it's okay. We learn our lessons, and it's not the biggest deal. You see, there's the foil. It's like ever so slightly just a little off, but that's okay. So here is my cover page, my calendar, which is underneath, and then my this month section. I'm going to skip over the two functionals. Oh, wait, social media, spreads, dashboard, whatever you want to call this. Skip over these 2 pages. Um, the left hand side is my kind of trackers, which like I said, I was getting a little burnt out. So I figured, do them later. You'll see them on Instagram. My finances with the Dutch door. And then my memories spread, and that is my February bullet journal setup. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, like where certain sticker comes from or how I use something. And that is the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would love it if you gave the video a little like. Like obviously, and I would be so happy if you joined my little channel by subscribing. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.